I speak to everyone in the same way, whether they are the garbage man or the president of the university. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? The only way to escape the corruptible effect of praise is to go on working. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. The true value of a human being is determined primarily by the measure and the sense in which he has attained liberation from the self. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. A ship is always safe at the shore, but that is not what it is built for. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. The only thing more dangerous than ignorance is arrogance. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge but can never prove how it got there. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. I never teach my pupils, I only provide the conditions in which they can learn. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. The value of an education in a liberal arts college is not the learning of many facts but the training of the mind to think something that cannot be learned from textbooks. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. You have to learn the rules of the game. And then you have to play better than anyone else. You have to learn the rules of the game. And then you have to play better than anyone else. Science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind. Peace is not merely the absence of war but the presence of justice, of law, of order, in short, of government. The only means of strengthening one's intellect is to make up one's mind about nothing, to let the mind be a thoroughfare for all thoughts. The only real valuable thing is intuition. A true genius admits that she knows nothing. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health or we suffer in soul or we get fat. I love to travel, but hate to arrive. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin, what else does a man need to be happy? Education is the progressive realization of our ignorance. The world is in greater peril from those who tolerate or encourage evil than from those who actually commit it. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. The only thing you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. The true measure of a man is to be found in the lives he touches, the sacrifices he makes, and the love he shares. I have reached an age when if someone tells me to wear socks, I don't have to. The ideals which have lighted my way, and time after time have given me new courage to face life cheerfully, have been kindness, beauty, and truth. Life is a preparation for the future, and the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. I am not only a pacifist but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. I am not only a pacifist but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. It is strange to be known so universally and yet to be so lonely. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. The person who reads too much and uses his brain too little will fall into lazy habits of thinking. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. It is not enough to teach a man a specialty. Through it, he may become a kind of useful machine but not a harmoniously developed personality. It is essential that the student acquire an understanding of and a lively feeling for values. He must acquire a vivid sense of the beautiful and of the morally good. Otherwise, he, with his specialized knowledge, more closely resembles a well-trained dog than a harmoniously developed person. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in 60, which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. The grand aim of all science is to cover the greatest number of empirical facts by logical deduction from the smallest number of hypotheses or axioms.